Hi, this is Martin Howie. I'm the founder and CEO of TopLine Business Solutions. A couple of weeks ago, I sent out an email to some of the folks who have come to our website looking for information on how to be a speaker, an author, a seminar leader, a marketing or business development consultant, and offered them a special offer that we have just put together. You know, for 15 months, I was laying flat on my back with cancer, trying to recover from this dreaded disease. And fortunately, my cancer has gone into remission, and I'm doing very well now. And I'm really excited about getting back and really taking our program to another level. While I was laying on my back, I had an opportunity to not just lay there, but take a look at the program that we had put together that's been so successful for so many consultants around the world, and see if we can't find a way to make it better, make it more pertinent, more up-to-date for the marketplace that we're operating in today. So I went back and rewrote the entire program, added a bunch of new information, consulted with some of our top consultants and said, if you were going to change a program or add something to it or take something out, what would you do? And so based on the information I got from them and some of the research that we had been doing, and some of what our staff has been doing with the consulting clients that we work with here at TopLine Corporate, we put a whole new program together. And then I went to a seminar to learn how to use sponsorships. And we got some very good corporate sponsors that are helping us in our program right now. So Jim Palmer and I, a good friend of mine, wrote a book all about cancer and the challenges that we had in overcoming this cancer. And then we interviewed 9 top business owners and entrepreneurs, speakers and authors and trainers that we know very well. And we asked them, what's the #1 business or personal challenge that you've gone through? How did you overcome it? How did you get through it? And what can we learn as a result of what you've gone through? So we published a book, and it took us 61 days from start to finish, and it's really exciting. We've now teamed up with Katie Couric and her organization, standuptocancer.org. I have a page on her website called From Cancer to Comeback, and it's very exciting what we're doing right now. We introduced a program, this new program that we've been selling our old program for $20,000 to people to come through to learn how to become a business consultant. We've now expanded it. We're teaching how to become an author, how to become a seminar leader, how to do workshops and seminars and seminars and webinars. We're teaching the entire package, how to become a speaker. If you don't want to consult, how to become a speaker and how to make top dollar as a speaker. You know, I've trained some of the top authors, trainers, speakers, seminar leaders in the business. You can pretty much throw a name out there, and I've had some influence over most of them. Many of them have come through my training, or I've consulted with them one-on-one, and have some real good success. But anyway, what we've done is we have reorganized this entire training, put it together, and I have got some corporate sponsors that are coming in and helping underwrite the cost of this whole training. So it's really given us some leverage and given us some financial backing that we didn't have before. Now, to celebrate the fact that I've gone through this cancer and have overcome this now, it actually had cancer, I overcame it, it came back, I overcame it, it came back, and I overcame it again, so it's gone now, it's in remission, and I'm very grateful for that. But anyway, to celebrate this entire thing, and we have got the sponsors now, I want to roll this program out really big time. And we're going to put it back out there this time at $30,000. But before we do that, we have to have some testimonials, some current testimonials. Now, if you go to our website at toplinebusinesssolutions.com, you'll see we have tons and tons of testimonials. If you go to my LinkedIn page, you'll see that I have testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of people who give us rave reviews. But I need to have some current testimonials. And so what I'm doing for a very limited number of people, we're going to be bringing people to Phoenix and taking you through the entire training program, a 4-day training program. And oh, by the way, we're actually including another day, which we haven't even announced yet, and I don't really want to let the cat out of the bag, but I'll tell you, we have some of our top consultants coming in to teach part of this program the day before, and it's going to be really rocking. I'm going to have them throughout the program talk to us about some of the things that they're doing right now and how they're competing in today's marketplace, and it's exciting. In fact, I was just on the phone today with one of them, and I was so excited when I hung up that he's agreed to come, and I know he's going to share some great information. But anyway, the idea is, people have asked me, what do you teach in this program? Well, I put together a 50-minute video so you can watch this video and you're going to be able to see what it is that we teach, a little bit of what we teach. I'm going to come out with some more videos and talk about it in some more depth and give you more information. But here's the thing. This program is going to roll out at $30,000 as soon as we finish this training. I want your testimonial. I want to get you involved in the program. I want to get you up and running as fast as I can. I want to get you to a 6-figure income in the first 90 to 120 days. Now, that's easy enough to do. We've done it over and over and over. But with the new program, we're going to do it even faster. But here's the thing. If you want to be a consultant, we're going to show you how to do that. If you want to be a speaker or a trainer or a seminar leader, workshop presenter, I'm going to give you the entire package, show you exactly how to do it. And it's going to be very exciting. Here's the deal. It's $3,000. This is for our $30,000 program. And the reason I can do this is, number one, I'm celebrating the fact that my cancer is in remission. Our new book has just been published. We have some corporate sponsors that are going to help underwrite the cost of this. And the reason they're going to do it is because they want to get in front of you, and then they want to get in front of your clients as well. So they're helping us out. They're underwriting the part of the program. And then I want your testimonial. I want to get you up and running, and I want you to come back and say, you know, this is the best training I've ever had, and it's making me more money than I ever thought I could make. So with that said, let me just go ahead and let you watch the rest of the video that I just put together, and you're going to see some of the things that we talk about and why this program is going to be so successful and why it's been working so well for some of our top consultants. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you get something out of this. And if you want more information, there's a link, and all you need to do is click on that link and you can schedule a discovery session with me. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you one-on-one. Now remember, we can only take a handful of people in here, and we've had some real good response already. But I really want to talk to you if you're interested. And this isn't the kind of thing you can just go on and sign up because you have a credit card. That's not the way it works. I'm very picky about who we're going to bring on because I only want success stories. I don't want excuses for failure. I just want success stories. So if you're the kind of person who really wants to get in and do something and make a significant impact both in the marketplace and in your pocketbook, then let's get together because I think there's some things that we can talk about that will really blow you away. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello and welcome. My name is Martin Howie. I'm the founder and CEO of TopLine Business Solutions, and I'm so excited that you're with me today because I'm going to share some things with you that can literally change your life, make things different for you than they've ever been before. And when I say different, I mean different for the good, different for the better, and not for the worst. Well, I'm going to be sharing some ideas with you about how you can transform your life experience into a 6-figure income as an in-demand author, a speaker, a seminar leader, a workshop presenter, or a marketing and business development consultant. Regardless of what your income is, regardless of what your education is, regardless of what your background is, I'm going to share some ideas with you that can help you build a business, a very successful, a very profitable, a very lucrative business in any one of these different areas. I'm going to share with you what the top-line opportunity is all about, help you determine if it's right for you, and then if it is, how you can get started. Well, USA Today has published several different articles about how we have an ever-changing lifestyle and how the recession is changing the way we live. In fact, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says that while the unemployment rate isn't at an all-time high right now, it has been in recent years, is still above 8%. And that's not good. In fact, when people were surveyed, they showed that when unemployment goes up, of course, we know that the ability to provide for a family goes down. And some 25% of the people, or rather 27% of the people who were surveyed, indicated that either they or someone in their household had lost a job or had been laid off in the past year. And we know that consumer confidence is down. In fact, the consumer confidence level, where it was above 140% back in January of 2001, is down to just 60% today. Fortune magazine wrote an article called Finished at 40. And it said in 1991, it took the average laid-off executive more than 8 months to find a new position. Now you figure an executive working for a company or a corporation, it takes them 8 months to find a position. Well, today in 2009, discarded executives may never find that new position. In fact, the lucky ones are happy to take a pay cut just to have a job. Now, I see people who come to us all the time who are looking at figuring out or trying to figure out how they can make it as an independent business owner. They have experience as an executive with a company. They have some skills. They have some education. They have fire in the belly. They want to do something, but they can't find a job that will pay them what they need or what they were making before. In fact, they're just thrilled to have some type of a job. I see people coming to us who are making or were making $150,000 to $250,000 a year, but because of the economy or downsizing of the company, or for some reason that has absolutely nothing to do with them, had nothing to do with their ability or their skill or their knowledge or their education, they now find themselves out of work and are happy to find a job that will pay them $35,000 to $40,000 just to keep food on the table for the family. Well, we know there's not enough money to go around. In fact, the income for working age household has dropped more than 10% in the 2000s. Now, working age household means that those people who are below age 65, those are considered working age. Over 65 are non-working age. If we looked at what happened over the period of 1994 to 2010, we can see that income has not risen significantly at all. In fact, just a little bit. In fact, in 1999, it was as high as $61,574, or rather in year 2000. But back here today in 2010, it's dropped back down to $55,000. Now, if we take a look at from 1994 to 2010, that's 16 years, and income hasn't risen at all, or very, very little. And what we find then, as the income level stays the same over a period of time, people are having to work more jobs or working longer hours in order to get the same type of income, or at least try to match the same type of income that they had before. So discretionary free time diminishes, and we find even with the discretionary free time that they have, 20% of the people are doing more work in and around their homes. People are doing remodeling, they're adding on, and they're making changes, and they're fixing up and repairing their homes, and they're not going out and buying homes the way they used to. Well, let's take a look at the quits versus layoffs and discharges. Now, you'll notice that the blue line represents the number of quits, or in other words, when people quit their jobs. And the red line represents the layoffs and discharges. Now, when times are good and jobs are more plentiful, the quit rate is higher. And if we take a look at the gray area, the gray area represents recessionary times. Now, if we look to the extreme left of the graph, at the very top in year 2000, we notice that the quit rate was very high just prior to the recession, which is indicated by the gray area. But as the recession went on, the quit rate started to drop. In other words, when times are plentiful and there's a lot of jobs, then people will tend to quit their jobs more frequently or more readily because they know they can go out and find something else. But as times get tighter and as recessionary times hit and jobs are less plentiful, then people tend to hang on to their jobs and the quit rate drops. So you can see then, in between those two gray areas, we started having good times again, and the quit rate went right back up. But as soon as the recession hit, as indicated by the large gray area on the right side of the screen, then the quit rate dropped dramatically. Now, if we take a look at the red graph and see what that represents, those are layoffs and discharges, because when the economy doesn't do well, as is indicated in the gray areas, we can see that the layoffs and discharges go way up. So we know that times are not good, and we know that people are hanging on to their jobs in the recessionary times. Now, let's take a look at the industries with the largest wage and salary employment growth so we can see what we can do about this. Well, the number one industry that's going to have the largest wage and salary employment growth is in home health care services. In fact, that has a 6.1 annual rate of change. That's healthcare and social assistance. Number two, once again, is individual and family services, which is healthcare and social services with a 5.5. And the third one is management, scientific, and technical consulting services. In other words, professional and business services. In that sector, that's number three. So when you look at a business consulting practice, that's going to have the third largest growth area, second only to healthcare and social assistance. And you might say, but what about computers? Where do computers fall in here? Well, computers have a 3.9 annual rate of change, which puts him in fourth place, significantly behind the consulting profession. So there's a big opportunity because businesses now are needing more and more consulting services because they don't know how to handle themselves in these tough economic times. We know that in order to survive, employers are cutting back on their overhead, they're cutting back on their operational costs, their stock and their inventories and their supplies. They're cutting back on advertising. They're cutting back on their employees and their staff and their personnel because they can save money on their wages, they can save it on their salaries, they can save it on the pay that they're spending on those people. They cut back on their hours, they cut back on their benefits and their health insurance and their retirement plans. But you see, there's some hidden costs as well that most people don't realize. It's not just how much a person makes or how much a person gets paid that counts. There's a hidden cost, or what we call the true cost of employees. If we can cut back on a person and cut back on their wages and all the other things that we normally see, we're also cutting back on payroll taxes, on FICA, unemployment, Social Security, workers' comp, liability insurance, health insurance, vacation, holiday and sick time, retirement and other pension plans, and employees' variable overhead. So there's a number of things that we can cut back on which isn't normally noticeable by most people. We cut back on general business overhead as well. Employees can cut back on the cost of office space, they cut back on equipment and supplies and business insurance, utilities and phones, business taxes, and of course on their profits. They reduce the profits that they're making and work on less of a margin, just in order to keep their businesses open. Well, we know that job security is not in the job. It's in the individual and the specialized skills a person brings to the table. The person with the greatest amount of in-demand skills will never find themselves in need. Now, here's what I mean. If you have a skill, but it's not in demand, then it's going to be difficult for you to find any kind of a job. If you have a skill or an ability or something that you can bring to the marketplace that others need and want and will gladly pay for, then you're going to find yourself in a position of plenty, and it's going to be very easy for you to be in demand and be able to control and command the kind of money that you're looking for. So the person with the greatest amount of in-demand skills is not going to find themselves in need. So real job security then is in a person's ability to easily and cost-effectively provide a service that's valuable enough that others will not only lust for it, but will actually seek you out to obtain it, will gladly and unhesitatingly pay your asking price, and will willingly and proactively introduce you to others who want and need the same benefits, regardless of any outside influence, economy, or prevailing business conditions. That's the person who's going to have all the security in the world. There are really three keys to success. Your success and your income is determined by the need or demand for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. So the marketplace, we know, pays for value. When I was a little boy and I was growing up, I remember getting on an elevator and there was always somebody there that could open the door and shut the door, ask you what floor you went to, and then turn the dial and the elevator would go up or down. They called them elevator operators. Today we don't see elevator operators. You could take your children to a hotel or to an airport or any place where there's an elevator, and if they're young children, they will make a beeline to see who can get to the elevator door first and be able to push the button. So the question is, if we go back and look at this, the need or demand for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. How much difficulty is there for operating an elevator? Very little. What's the need or demand? Well, if a child can do it, there's no need or demand for it. And the ability to do it, it doesn't matter how good you are at running an elevator. If a child can do it, that will displace automatically somebody who would be paid to do it. So here's the questions. How much value do you provide the marketplace? That's the first thing. What's the value? The second, is there a real need for what you do? And the third, how good are you at doing what you do? And then fourth, how easy would it be to replace you? Now let's contrast that elevator operator with a professional baseball player. Is there a need for what they do? Well, game attendance figures will tell you that there is. You take a professional baseball player who has a big name and they will fill the stadium with people to come and see that baseball player. So there really is a need. Now you may argue and say, well, that really isn't a need. It's a want or it's a desire to see something. Well, that may be true. We're talking semantics here. But if game attendance figures go up when we bring in somebody with a big name who is a proven draw and people want to come and see them, then that indicates or translates down to a need. What about the ability? Well, they say that hitting the ball, traveling at 90 miles an hour, with a bat traveling at 70 miles an hour, is the single most difficult movement in sports. Now, in basketball, we know that the goal or the target or the hoop is stationary. It doesn't move. We know that in football, the goal or the target is stationary. It doesn't move. In soccer, the goal doesn't move. In hockey, the goal doesn't move. But in baseball, the goal or the target is traveling at 90 miles an hour, and you're trying to hit that with a sweet spot of about a quarter of an inch on a bat traveling at 70 miles an hour. Very difficult. How about the difficulty in replacing a professional baseball player? When only the best in the world can hit the target less than a third of the time, and most are far less successful than that, then it's very, very difficult to replace someone, and of course that's why they get paid such huge amounts. But what about you? Why don't you take a personal inventory about where you are? Is there a need in the marketplace for what you do? What's your ability in doing it? In other words, how good are you at doing what you do? And third, what is the difficulty in replacing you? Would the business you work for suffer if you left, or could they find a suitable replacement without too much trouble? Those are questions you need to ask yourself, because that's going to help you determine how valuable you are and how irreplaceable you are in your business, and how much money you can command and how secure your job is going to be. What about your satisfaction level? Are you happy doing what you're presently doing? What about your security? Are you confident that your job or position will exist regardless of the influences outside your control? You know, some people say, well, I'm irreplaceable. I'm doing such a good job, they can't replace me. But then the company comes along and merges with somebody else, and there's another person in their company that merged with your company who maybe has seniority or is a favored person, and they're kept on while you're let go. So remember, security is only in your ability to do a job in such a way that there's a tremendous need or demand for what you have. How about your long-term goals? Will what you're doing now enable you to meet your personal financial goals for education, for retirement, for taking care of your aged parents? We see people all the time that are just going along to get along without any particular plan or any particular goal for moving ahead. They think that if they keep on doing what they've always done, they're going to keep on getting what they've always gotten. And that doesn't always work. And we explain that. We go into real detail in it in our seminars. But let me just say this. If you don't have some type of a long-term goal for progression, and progression is the key here, you're going to find yourself left by the wayside, and then somebody else is going to step in and take your job, if your job even exists. So now is the time for introspection. Take a look at your situation as it really is. Take off your blinders, get real honest with yourself, and stop playing games and stop wishing and start taking proactive control. Because remember, you're the only one who has control over your future. You say, well, my employer. No, you're the one that is responsible for your future, and you're the only one who can ensure the success of your future and your ability to take care of your family. So now here's an important question for you to be asking yourself. Who's Martin Howey, and why should you listen to him? What is there about this guy who's speaking to you now that qualifies him to give you any kind of insight or direction or information or guidance? Well, let me just say that I've been doing this for about 46 years now, just a little bit over 46 years. We currently have about 1,200 consultants in 36 countries around the world. I've been training, consulting, I do seminars, I do workshops, I do speaking. I have a publishing company that we publish our own books and our manuals. And I've been featured in the media, in nearly every news media, whether it's electronic or whether it's print, magazines or newspaper or television shows. And I've gotten a lot of exposure because I come to the marketplace with an expertise that very few people have. And that's the ability to look at a company and find the challenges in that company that are causing it to not produce the way it could be or should be producing, to immediately find solutions and turn those companies around from running in the hole to running in the black in a very short period of time, and to be able to transfer the knowledge that I have to other people to help them create very successful, very lucrative businesses as speakers and authors and presenters, business consultants. I've worked with some of the biggest clients and corporations in the marketplace. Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies, and some small mom and pop shops along the way, and everything in between. I've worked with major corporations, small and medium-sized enterprises. I've trained speakers, some of the top speakers, the authors, consultants, and coaches that are operating in the market today. If I were to mention names, you would know exactly who I was talking about. I work with local businesses. I do private consulting. I do group coaching. And I have mastermind groups where we get people together and we exchange ideas about what's working in the real world. Everything we talk about is based on what's happening today, this real world. It's not based on hype. It's not based on theory. It's not based on, this sounds pretty good, let's try it out. So our mastermind groups, our private consulting, and our coaching groups helps bring that out. Now here's another thing. I consistently and currently work with businesses myself, doing exactly what I teach our consultants how to do. Because you see, I think it's very important for me to stay abreast of what's going on. And the only way I can do that, to find out what's going on in the marketplace, is to get my hands dirty and do exactly what I teach our consultants how to do. So I'm not coming to you from a point of theory. I'm coming to you from a point of experience and sharing ideas that are real world ideas. And then when I interview other consultants and work with consultants, I pick up even more ideas about what's working in their marketplaces as well. Well, I've worked with a number of very high-level people. I've trained and coached some of the top entrepreneurs, some of the top speakers, some of the top authors, and I've helped them coach and train some of their consultants and some of their clients as well, and their business owner clients. I've got, like I mentioned, hundreds of TopLine graduates around the world. We're well into thousands now, but we've got about 1,200 of them from all walks of life, from all different backgrounds, from all different levels of experience, some with no prior experience, out there working, making significant incomes, turning businesses around. I've authored several different products. I have 24 different books that I've published. I've got a number of reports and special articles. I've got a number of different cassette programs, CD programs, DVD programs, home study courses, and training courses that we make available not only to our consultants, but to our clients and their clients as well. And there's something you need to know. When you're looking for an opportunity, no matter what kind of an opportunity it is, you need straight, solid, and sensible answers to all of your questions before you make any decisions about any type of business opportunity. There's no future in jumping into something without taking a good look at it and doing your due diligence. It's something you really need to take a look at because you're investing your money into it, hard-earned money, of course, and you're investing, more importantly than the money, is the time and your trust, and you're putting everything you have into a new business opportunity. So you need solid and straight and sensible answers that will help you determine if the opportunity you're investigating is right for you. The last thing you need is for somebody to play games with you and try to sell you on something. And we don't sell our program. We tell you what we have to offer, and if it resonates for you and if it's right for you, then we say, great. You need to make the decision. But we never ask somebody to buy. We never pressure somebody. We never make a presentation that's a sales presentation. Whatever we do is informational and it's educational. Informational in that it helps you get the information you need to determine whether or not it's right for you. Educational in that we help you see things that maybe you didn't see before. But as far as a sales presentation, we don't believe in sales presentations and selling our program to our consultants, and we don't believe in them in our consultants selling their services to their clients. In fact, we have a real easy to learn, easy to apply, no selling system that we use for our consultants to present to their clients when they're prospects that will close 3 or 4 out of every 5 presentations they make with no selling involved. It works like a charm. And how do you do it? You provide straight, solid, and sensible answers to all of the questions they have, just like what we're going to be doing here with you today. Now, there are 4 key considerations that you need to take a look at when you're considering a business opportunity. First, is this a viable solution to a real market need? Now, I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think of this on 2 levels. Is what I'm sharing with you, in other words, is this consulting opportunity a viable solution to a real market need? And second, I want you to think about it from your client's perspective, from a business owner's perspective. Is what this consultant is trying to teach me or trying to talk to me about a viable solution to a real market need? I'm a business owner, my business is struggling, and I need to find a way to turn it around. So is what this person telling me a solution to a real market need? And the answer is, well, of course, if you present it in the right way. And what I'm sharing with you right now is what we have to offer, the TopLine opportunity, a viable solution to a real market need. Well, if there's a need and a demand for consulting services, and we can show you how to become an expert consultant or an author or a speaker or a seminar leader or a workshop presenter, then there is a real need, and this becomes a viable solution. So the second question, are others currently succeeding at it? So again, look at it at 2 levels. As a consultant looking at this opportunity, or a prospect or prospective consultant looking at this opportunity, are others succeeding at it? And I'm going to show you some stories of people who are. As a business owner, looking back at the consultant saying, are others succeeding with what you've taught them? And again, we'll show you how to present that so you can see that, yes, they are succeeding at it. The third thing, can I realistically succeed at it? That's very important. If other people can do it, that's fine. Maybe they have some type of talent or skill. But what about me? Can I realistically succeed at it? And fourth, Where can I get the help that I need to make it work? Well, let's take each one of these and take them apart. Is this a viable solution to a real market need? Well, all you have to do is just look around out there at the various businesses. Now, these businesses right here, what you see is taken from one Walmart center. We talk about Walmart coming in and taking all the business away from all these small businesses and they're folding. Well, Walmart is an anchor tenant. And Walmart has come in and created space for these other businesses to grow and to flourish. And because of the traffic that comes to Walmart, these other companies are getting that spin-off traffic coming to them. But every one of these people has some type of a problem. They've invested their money into a business, hoping that they would make something for themselves, a business that would be successful, that could provide for their family, and that they could be a proud business owner and not have to work the hours that they were working for someone else and make the kind of money they would really like to make. Problem is, most of them are struggling in one way or another, and they need the help of a consultant. When a business owner goes into business, there's a whole lot of hats that they have to wear, and things that they've never realized until they actually got into the business. I mean, there's sales, there's finances, there's operation, there's marketing, and there's everything that goes underneath each one of those subcategories. And the problem is, they just don't know, many of them, how to operate a business. Or they may be very good at the technical aspects, making the hamburgers or providing the service that the business provides. But when it comes to the actual operations and finances and the marketing and all the rest of it, they really find themselves behind the scene where they don't know how to actually get those things done that need to be done. Well, as time goes on, all the fun leaves. And now they're left working in a business. And they're working for the business rather than the business working for them. They're putting in more time than they wanted to put in. They're taking home less money than they wanted to take home. They have higher levels of stress, less time with their family, less time to do the things that they want to do. And so what happens here? The business is running them rather than them running the business. So where's the fulfillment? You see, most people, when they go into business, they don't end up with a business. Now, a business is an entity that runs without you having to be there. What they end up with is a job. In many cases, that stands for just over broke. They're living month to month. They're working harder. They're working longer. They're making less. They have no structure. They have no plan. And they have no exit strategy. They're going to be doing this for the rest of their life or until the business folds. You see, there's a universal problem. And what we find is 92% of business owners complain that they don't have enough customers or sales. Their profit margins are being squeezed, there's too much competition, and they're not getting the rewards that they want for their time and the financial investment they're making in their business. It's a real problem. And if you stop and think about it, almost every business, small business, even large businesses, are running into the same kinds of problems. You see, if you keep doing the same things you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same types of results. And so Einstein said that we can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking that we used when we created them. In other words, we've got to have a new way of thinking. We've got to do things different than we've ever done before. And what really happens in business is when we have less traffic and sales and we have tighter margins, then our profitability decreases or it even stops altogether. And when we have more and tougher competition and more knowledgeable, more educated, more sophisticated customers, business gets tougher. And when it gets tougher, then that affects the financial stability of the company. And then that leads to unprofitability in the company. Now, here's something most business owners don't understand. If you're operating in a 30% margin, and you reduce your prices by 10%, you've got to sell 50% more to make the same kind of money. Now, I see most business owners think, well, we don't have enough traffic, we don't have enough sales, we don't have enough money coming in. Let's just reduce our prices by 10%. We'll have a sale and we'll bring in more customers and we'll make more money. But that's not what happens. It shows here that if you reduce your prices by just 10%, you got to sell 50% more to make the same money. Now, for example, if you have a sales price of $100 and your wholesale cost is $70, that gives you a $30 profit or a 30% margin. So let's just say that we have a new sales price of $90. In other words, we just cut 10% right off the top. So our sales price is $90. The wholesale cost is $70. That still stays the same. We haven't gotten any better bargain from the vendors. Now our profit is just $20. So to make the same money, you have to sell 50% more, which is if you take $20 times 1.5 or 1.5, that's your $30. You see, business owners don't understand that. Now here's the other part of this. Nobody knows you're having a sale unless you tell them. And when we tell somebody something in business, we call that advertising or promotions. So now we not only have to sell 50% more to make the same money, but we have to pay for the cost of the advertising. But then on top of that, we might have to have more stock, more inventory, more credit card processing, more delivery. We have to have maybe more or longer hours, more employees. You see, there's a whole lot of things that are going on here that add on top of the reduced prices that say if we're going to have a sale, we better generate a whole lot more business. Now, most business owners don't understand that. And that's why they look at this and say, well, gee, we brought all this business in, but we didn't make any money. Of course not, because you're not operating efficiently in your business. And this is where a consultant can come in and show them exactly what they can do to prevent this kind of thing from happening. Now, here's what happens. Most business owners don't understand this system either. We have transaction buyers and we have relationship buyers. Now, every company has a group of relationship buyers. They buy from you no matter what. They like you, they know you, they trust you, they come back time after time after time. When prices go up, they stay with you. When prices go down, they stay with you. Good times, bad times, they stay with you. But business owners also have what we call transaction buyers. And they're buyers who come to you because of a certain transaction. So someone comes to you because you had a sale, or because you had a special deal, or because you had some type of a promotion. But as soon as another company comes along and offers a sale, they leave you and move to the next company. And another business has a sale and they move to that one. And another one has a sale and then you move to that one. In other words, they're buying because of the transaction. Now what happens is, when you have a sale, who are you attracting? Relationship buyers or transaction buyers? Of course you're attracting transaction buyers. And you see, if you have to sell 50% more, plus all the other costs that are associated with that, then you never make any money on the transaction buyers. In fact, most transaction sales end up costing you money. So it takes the relationship buyers to subsidize the transaction buyers. The people who are loyal customers, your relationship buyers who stay with you time and time and time again, you're costing them more money to stay with you because you're trying to subsidize the transaction buyers. Most business owners have no idea how this works. And when our consultants go in and sit down with a business owner and explain this and what to do about it, their eyes go wide open, and now they can see where they're leaving money on the table, where they're losing money, and how with just a couple of tweaks can turn this thing around and start to make a profit where they weren't making any kind of a profit before. Now, some people say, well, it's working hard and versus working smart. You've got to work smart and not hard. Well, you do have to work hard and you do have to work smart, but you've got to work right. My friend James Malinchak tells a great story about it's not working hard, it's not working smart. It is about doing those things, but more importantly is working right. You've got to have the right systems, the right procedures in place in order to make your business run at maximum efficiency. So let's take a look at what we can do to create some amazing results in a business, a hypothetical business. This business is generating about 1,200 leads a year. That's 100 leads a month, 1,200 leads a year. They're converting about 20% of those. In other words, out of 10 people that walk into that business, 2 of them become customers. That gives them 240 customers. Each of them buy 4 times a year. They spend $200 with them every time. That gives them an annual revenue of $192,000. If they work on, let's just say, a 50% profit margin, that gives them a $96,000 annual profit. They stay with them for 3 years, and the lifetime profit value is $288,000. Well, look what happens if we just increase it by 10%. Our leads have gone now from 1,200 to 1,320. That's 120 leads that we've just generated. Now stop and think. 120 leads in a year. How many is that? That's 10 a month. 10 a month. What could we do to create 10 a month? Let's break it down even farther. 10 a month is one every 3 days. Can we get one more lead every 3 days? What are some things we could do to generate more leads? We talk about what to do with your ads, what to do with the promotions, what to do with different kinds of things that are generating leads, how to track where the customers are coming from, where the leads are coming from. Very simple to do to increase that by 10%. Conversion ratio, if we take 2 out of every 10, that's 20%. We now move up to 3 out of every 10. That's a 10% increase there. The number of customers jumps from 240 to 396. That's 156 more customers. The number of transactions, 10%. That's 0.4 more transactions in a year. Transactional value goes from 200 up to 220. Could we add another $20 to every sale? On average, some we won't be able to add that to. Others we might be able to add more to. How about the annual revenue? Look what happens. We've gone from $192,000 to $383,000 by just doing those 4 things. That's all we've done. And we've increased it. We've just doubled the business. Now what if we took that profit margin and we went from 50% to 60%? Just a 10% increase in the profit margin. And we had that person stay with us now for 3 years instead of 3 years to 3.3 years. The lifetime value of that business goes from $288,000 to $759,000. That's huge. That's just with a 10% increase. We show you how to help your business owners get these kinds of increases. Let's take a look at one other thing here. We mentioned 10 leads per month already and 1 new customer every other day. That's not very many. A 20% increase. I won't go through all of the numbers, but just go down and take a look at the annual revenue. It goes from $192,000 to $663,000. That's huge. And the profit, $96,000 to almost $500,000. You see what happens here? If you could take a business owner and say you're only making $96,000 now, we could take you up to about $500,000 with just a 20% increase. And I'm telling you, 20% increase is not very hard to do in most businesses. In fact, it's pretty conservative. The lifetime value, $288,000, as opposed to $1.6 million. That's very significant. A 50% increase, well, it gets out of hand now because our revenue goes from $192,000 to $2.2 million. Our profits from $96,000 to $1.3 million with a 50% increase. And a 50% increase in some cases is real simple to do. Why? Because most business owners are not maximizing their business. They're not optimizing their business. They're not running their business at half the efficiency they could be or half the effectiveness they could be. And so we find it very, very easy to make some very significant increases in business and how you get paid a substantial amount for doing this for a business owner, even a small business owner. Well, and in this case, I've only kept the profit margin at 10% increase rather than try to increase that by 50%. Keep it very, very low, 10%. Well, the second consideration is, are others currently succeeding at it? Well, we've got all kinds of consultants all over the world who are doing all kinds of wonderful things. Down in the lower left-hand corner, John Beck sent out a flyer. He got 23 responses. He decided to work with 5 of them. Decided on 5 of them rather to talk to. He ended up working with 3 of them. Every one of them called him. He had to put the others on the back burner. He's too busy to handle them. He had 2 clients, each paying him $1,000 per day to work with him. On the lower right-hand side, Eddie Cross was in the Philippines on church business. He got 50 business owners in a 1.5-hour seminar set up by a local pastor. He promoted himself as a business solutions expert. Sold $1,000 of the pre-course materials just 1 week out of training. So this is very simple to do, and you can see some of the other ones on here as well. I won't go through them just in the interest of time, but we have some consultants out there who are making some substantial incomes with not very much effort. The third consideration, can I realistically succeed at it? Well, you've got to find a way to have a competitive advantage. And if we can show you how you can bring something to the marketplace that nobody else can bring. That will give you a competitive advantage. For instance, we give you a blueprint. This thing is 18 and a half inches or 18 and a quarter inches tall. It's 34 inches wide. It tells you step by step by step exactly what you do. There are 8 steps in your client acquisition system, and there are 9 steps once you get a client on how to optimize their business. And then on the right-hand side, there's income opportunities, showing you some different ways that you can create income from your business. Now, this is for a consultant. If you want to be a speaker or an author or a seminar leader, you don't need to go through this, but this is so simple, step by step, already laid out for you. All you do is just step 1, step 2, step 3, and money comes out. We can't make it any simpler than giving you an actual blueprint to follow. So the TopLine system is a time-tested, proven system. We show you how to attract clients, and we give you tons of different contacts, information sheets. We give you flyers and letters and emails and everything you can possibly imagine that will help you generate clients very cost effectively and very quickly. The second thing we do is show you how to provide value. Remember how I showed you if you lowered your prices 10%, you had to sell 50% more to make the same money if you're in a 30% margin? Business owners don't understand that. If you can show them that, you've provided value to them. If you can show them what happens when they have a small increase, a 10%, a 20%, a 50% increase, they've never seen this kind of thing before. They have no idea what their business is capable of. That's how you show value. You create dependency, so they want to come back and do business with you. You see, clients are going to look to you for how-tos, how to convert leads into paying clients, how to do video marketing that compels action, how to write sales letters that compel prospects to buy, how to write scripts to know exactly what to say and when to say it for all of your staff, how to raise prices without losing customers, how to cut costs and unnecessary expenses, make irresistible offers, create revenue-producing drip campaigns, sales letters that compel prospects to buy. Expand your products and increase customer revenues. Create elevator pitches that generate attention. Get emails read and acted upon. Establish profitable joint venture relationships. Profit from trade shows and special events. Produce effective direct mail campaigns. How to charge twice as much as your competitors and still outsell them. How to create profitable force continuity programs. And how to find $10,000 in 45 minutes in almost any business without spending a dime in advertising. That's what we show you how to do for your clients. When you walk into a business owner and you start showing these kinds of things, they want to do business with you. Show you how to use the business maximization course. How to have every answer to almost any business problem at your fingertips. And that creates dependency from your business owner client to you. Show you how you can have products that you can sell from a seminar at the back of the room if you want to. We'll give you the product. I mean, it's already laid out for you. You don't have to create a product. It's done for you, all packaged for you. All you have to do is say, I've got this product. Are you interested? And we show you how to make the presentation, how you do the pricing, how you do it with a close that is so simple that people want to buy it from you without you having to sell it. And the fourth step is leverage. How to leverage your business so your clients do your selling for you. Mal Emery, who's called Australia's Millionaire Maker, he's doing the selling for me. Martin Howey is one of the top business consultants in the world. This guy has Fortune 500 companies lining up to use his services because of the amazing results he can generate for any company. Martin has the most successful consulting program in the world. It's a system that any person could take out, follow the instructions, and then develop their own successful seven-figure coaching and consulting business. There's absolutely nothing that can compare to it anywhere in the world. Joel Bauer. Martin gave me the ability to stand out, to differentiate myself, and to help my clients in return. In addition to giving me literally over 300 additional tools and resources, proven systems and resources that will enable me to make millions of dollars by just applying his turnkey systems. Martin has made a huge difference in leveraging my family's future, taking care of my children, and spending more time with my wife. I can think of no one I'd rather train with. Now, Joel Bauer is known as the chairman of the board of the Trade Show Presenters. He's one of the top presenters and platform speakers in the world. And he'll close 50 to 60% of a room when he speaks. And I've trained him, and he's trained with me. I've trained with him, and we share ideas, we share structure, we share exactly what each other does with our consultants and clients. Jeff Walker from Product Launch Formula. I was so happy to have you in Denver. You were critically valuable to the event. Your great energy and great ideas really rounded out the experience for many of the attendees. In so many ways, I feel like a complete newbie at business when I look at all you've done. This guy makes millions of dollars with his Product Launch Formula, which, by the way, we teach you how to use in our training. David Fry. If you want to become a marketing consultant or add that service offering to your business, there's only one person I recommend. It's Martin Howie. He's probably the best marketing consulting trainer I've ever seen. Martin's program is heads and shoulders above what you'll find out there. I rarely endorse other people, but Martin is exceptional. And the best thing is he has integrity, something that is lacking in many business people nowadays. And you can't find anybody more honest and more down to earth than David Fry. And the fourth consideration you take a look at is, where can I get the help that I need to make it work? Well, help is at your fingertips with us. You have email support, phone support, teleseminars, we have webinars, we have our resource library, and we have repeat trainings. You can come back anytime you want. And there's always help available anytime you need it. So we have a systematic process, which we call the TopLine system. You see, TopLine has the perfect business. It's helping other business owners recapture the dream they had when they first started their business. It's an ideal situation. You don't have to have any employees. You don't have to have an office or overhead, no set hours, no travel, no inventory, no product spoilage, no advertising costs, no royalty fees. You call your own shots. You choose your own clients. You choose when you want to work. You can work from home if you want to, or you can have an office if you want to. You provide a valuable service. You earn a substantial income. You can have an abundance of time freedom, live life on your own terms, and you can have a career that your mom would be proud to tell her friends about. You see, business consulting is the perfect business. The market needs help. Business owners will pay top dollar, and you can get started quickly, easily, and cost effectively. Now, the fact is, you're probably already a consultant. I mean, how many times have you gone into a business and you've looked around and said, well, boy, if this was my business, I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't do that, and I wouldn't do that. I certainly wouldn't do what that clown over there is doing. Now, you go to the business owner, you try to tell them these things, and they'll throw you out. Why? Because you have no credibility. They didn't ask for your help. But when you go in and you set yourself up and positioned yourself where that business owner says, wow, I've heard about you, I've read about you, I've seen you. I need what you have. When can you come in and help me? It's a different situation. You see, just because you have the title doesn't mean that that's who you really are. You've got to have the credentials behind you. You've got to have the system behind you. You've got to have the marketing and the positioning tools that will put you in front of the qualified business owners in such a way that they request you and your services. I go to you and I say, look, I'm a consultant. I can help your business. I know I can turn your business around. I can get this thing going for you. You can say, look, this is just not right for me right now, but thanks for coming in. Now, where does that put me? I got to start selling now. I've got to start overcoming objections and trying to convince you that you should do business with me. That's a losing proposition. What you want to do is you want to have that business owner contact you because he heard about you, read about you, saw you. Your reputation is preceding you, and he needs and can't help but do business with you. And he wants you. All of a sudden, the whole thing changes. Instead of him being in control, you're now in control. You now call the shots, and you can provide the value, and you can now name your own price. You see, the key to success is having a system that's easy to follow. It's a dot-to-dot system. If you follow the dots, if you connect the dots, if you follow the blueprint that we give you, then success is pretty much guaranteed. We're going to be talking more about how to sell high-ticket consulting services to a hungry market that is actively seeking for your solutions and is ready, willing, and able to pay your asking price. These are the exact same methods that hundreds of the world's most successful consultants are using to create six-figure incomes, working only 3 to 4 days a week. I've taught it to them. I can teach it to you as well. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'm so glad that you did, and I hope you got some value out of what you just saw. You know, we've spent a lot of time putting the ideas, the information together that we have here at TopLine. I've been doing this for 46 years. I know what I'm talking about. I would put myself up against, and what I teach, against anything in the marketplace. We've had some great successes. And like I mentioned earlier, I've trained some of the top speakers and trainers and authors on how to make presentations and how to be successful. We've got some of the top business consultants in the world working with us, as well as top speakers. So I hope that you got some information, and if this resonates with you, that you'll go ahead and give us a call or schedule a time for us to get together on the phone, because I'd like to talk to you. We are filling up our seats pretty quickly, and we don't have that many to fill up. So this is not one of those things where 500 people come to a room. Not at all. These are very small sessions, and especially at this price, this $3,000 price for the $30,000 program that our sponsors are helping us put together and paying for. They don't want just to have anybody there. They want to make sure that we have talked. Now, when I said I want to scare you off if you don't have any business experience, because there are a number of people who have come through with no experience at all. It's just that I want to talk to you to make sure that you and I are on the same wavelength. And if this is something you want to do, then I want to talk to you. I'm going to give you everything I have. Look, 46 years of experience. We've got 1,200 consultants out there right now. I've trained well over 5,000 people on how to do what I'm doing right now. And many of them have taken jobs as CEOs of companies or marketing directors of companies, and it's pretty exciting. I think you're going to like what you see, what you hear. So if this at all resonates with you, please, let's get together. Schedule a time for a call, and we'll talk and see if we can't make something work. Thank you very much for watching.